All right, everybody. Welcome back for another one. And I wanted to start this video off taking a look at the Bitcoin chart because we finally got a little bit of price action again today. Might have been bearish, but that's okay because honestly, if you've been watching this channel, that's what you were expecting. So, as I've shown you, I clipped this bar pattern from the first basically consolidation period in the 2017 bull cycle, and showing you, following along. Let's see how it plays out. Well, like I said, there's not as much volatility there, but you can definitely see similarities in the pattern itself. So fast forward, or I fit it to the actual chart now to show you how close we really are to following this. Kind of shrink it down a little. You can see that it's basically following the same wave pattern, right? With that being said, we definitely are going to get some more downside, I would believe, to 25,000. And then from there, basically two scenarios, right? We bounce and then we continue up, and that starts basically the next move, which will take us a lot higher, I would guess. But for me, I'm thinking that maybe that isn't as likely anymore. Personal opinion. I'm thinking that Bitcoin might consolidate a lot longer than maybe anybody wants it to. All right, and I believe that mostly because how quick this run up happened. All right, historically speaking, Bitcoin in its 4-year cycles hasn't moved this fast going through an all-time high. It's usually taken a little longer, especially the last one. And I think the last one is the most relevant to look at because its market cap was actually a little bigger than just a tiny, penny stock. But anyway, so if you've been watching this channel, you see I've been following this breakout pattern from 2019. It's pretty much identical. So you take that consolidation that we had, it lasted for about 3 months. All right. So it's still looking almost identical, right? It just hasn't completed the pattern yet. So if we might see something more like this, right? More consolidation for just 3 months straight, and then it could go even longer, right? But I don't think that ends with more downside. I think it ends up with more upside eventually. Instead of breaking down, I think it'll break up because we are in a bull cycle. But I guess the most important question to ask from that too is, well, are we going to get an alt season, or are we just going to drag through the mud forever? That's hard to tell as well at this point. I've been thinking we're definitely right around the corner with alt season. I think Ethereum is going to have to lead the way. If we can get Ethereum up above, 1,500, even getting close to 2,000, I have no doubt in my mind we're about to see an explosive alt season where you'll see mostly everything take off, right? But this time around has just been really strange compared to history. As you can see here, historically speaking, fluctuating between the Bitcoin dominance, it was a pretty quick bounce, right? Reversal in price action. So the dominance goes up, then down, up, then down. Well, this time around, we have been consolidating in this range pretty much between 55% dominance and 73% dominance for about 2 years at this point. So if you've been watching me, I've been thinking this was going to break out a long time ago, obviously because of history, right? It bounced pretty quick and took off, but that didn't happen this time. But what I do see on this dominance, me, looks pretty much like a triple bottom. So we've hit this 73%-ish mark multiple times. We had this wick here in May of last year that went even lower. But relatively speaking, this is holding up. So I think that was it for Bitcoin's last effort to maintain dominance. And my personal opinion, I think that it's only going to lose ground over time from now on, right? But I think we got to get above this 55% area for Bitcoin dominance, so below it, 54, 53, and so on, before we really see this thing take off. And I think the next breakout above that can definitely run us all the way down to maybe only 10% dominance. would not be surprised, right? And that's just because Bitcoin is so big as far as market cap, but there is a lot of great utility in all the altcoins. Let's be honest, Bitcoin doesn't do much at this point. It's just being locked up. It's being bought up so it can be wrapped and put on the Ethereum blockchain or other altcoin blockchains, and then it's being bought up by Grayscale and institutions, right? So all they're doing is buying. That's great and all, but eventually that money is going to trickle down into alts that have real utility. All right, so that's kind of my take on the charts for now. It kind of helps me segue into my next subject as well, as far as real world utility. So wanted to talk about some Hedera news. Came out a few days ago, but I didn't see it until now, so I wanted to mention it. How Hedera is ensuring the safety of Pfizer's vaccine. So, as we know, the vaccines are rolling out globally, but some of the vaccines require very careful handling and storage to be viable. The first approved vaccine by the United States Food and Drug Administration, FDA, developed by Pfizer and BioNTech, must be kept at a temperature between negative 80 degrees Celsius and negative 60 degrees Celsius in cold storage, and between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius for up to 5 days in a refrigerator before being administered. As you can see, very specific requirements for the temperatures if it's going to be effective, right? But as they mentioned, the UK's South Warwickshire NHS Foundation Trust had tapped the software company Everywhere and distributed ledger tech Hedera Hashgraph to track the temperatures of the vaccine. Right, so as it's being transported and stored, it has to stay in these temperatures. And if you want to check this out in more detail, the co-founder Mance Harmon was on this podcast for Decrypt Daily on Spotify. So go ahead and check that out. But they go ahead and talk about how Everywhere is monitoring the temperature of the vaccine, and then that information flows through the system and becomes tamper-proof information that people then can depend on in the future. Right? So they know exactly what the state of the vaccine is when it's delivered and so on. So this is a very immediate use case for blockchain technology, specifically Hedera. I mean, you could use a lot of blockchains to do this, most likely. But yeah, so logistics, transportation, so on, measuring temperatures, all of this is just recorded on the blockchain and stored there, right? Immutable ledger. So we know what temperature the vaccines are at all along the transportation process. All right, and I just wanted to show you that because it's a real world use case being applied to one of the cryptos that I speak about on this channel. So next up, blockchain payment firm Wire receives $5 million investment from the Stellar Development Foundation. So Stellar is going to invest $5 million into Wire, and the funds are intended to help broaden fintech payment API options for Stellar. By adding Wire to its ecosystem, Stellar intends to expand its USDC on and off ramps with pairs for USD, Euro, GBP, Canadian dollar, and Australian dollar, as well as boost its overall support infrastructure. So for those of you who don't get it, basically Wire has payment APIs that they help connect for businesses, and Stellar is going to be utilizing those to get the dollar into these businesses, essentially, right? So this is bullish for Stellar, but you follow me once again, I've shown plenty of times how it really looks like the CBDCs are going to be rolling out on Stellar, the retail ones, right in front of our eyes without them actually telling us. All right. The next topic of discussion I wanted to cover. So my video yesterday, if you guys didn't see it, go ahead and check it out. I'll put the link in the upper right hand corner for you here. But I had a lot of people talking about how basically my speculation that the XRP escrow could potentially be handed off to the IMF or another government entity per se. People were saying that my description here sounds like they're talking about a forced buyback, essentially. So I wanted to weigh in on this really quick. Yeah, here you go again. Timothy says, does that not sound like the groundwork for a forced buyback? You know, I thought the same thing, but honestly, there's a few bullet points that need to be hit, right? For one, XRP at Ledger is decentralized, right? And it is global, right? So essentially the only people that are threatened here right now with this information with the SEC suit are US citizens. I do not see how they could force a buyback, the SEC or anyone force a buyback to citizens all over the world. They might have some kind of fair offering they offer to US citizens, or they try to entice you with a good price, let's say maybe $10. If I say 10 because we've already seen XRP at a high of over $4. I don't think you're going to get many people to just sell unless they see a price that they're like, okay, I can't refuse that. So I don't know. You ask yourself, would you sell all your XRP right now at $10? Right? But yeah, I just don't think that they have enough leverage that they could force buybacks for everyone around the world right now. Ripple being a separate entity, it's a company from the XRP ledger. As I said, it's decentralized. I don't know. There's a lot of different angles that go into this and variables, but I just don't see how they could force a buyback. What I see that they could do, I know they could definitely try to make them burn it, but even then they would need all of the validators to agree to the burn. I don't know. Unless there's just some big plan to all of this all along that they know they're going to agree to. I don't know. Main point being, XRP is global, so I don't see how they could force a buyback, personally speaking. Maybe they could. Who knows? All right. Kind of segues into my next topic as well. So, Ripple signed 15 new customers after the SEC lawsuit, according to Brad Garlinghouse. So, Brad Garlinghouse says, even after the SEC's lawsuit was officially filed, the company continued to close new customer deals at the rate of 2 per week. With these additions, Ripple is now seeing more customers than ever before, Garlinghouse noted. Right? And he specifically cited increasing demand for digital financial services in the Asia-Pacific region, right? And said that it's further propelling the adoption of RippleNet. The number of deals signed in 2020 were up 80% year over year, and there was a 1,700% growth in transactions. We added top talent to our leadership team with strong backgrounds from Apple, PayPal, Amazon, Tesla, and Twitter. All right, and they also added Sandy O'Connor from JP Morgan, who worked there for over 30 years, as I've shown you, and her specific focus was in regulation. So you can't look over them having all these important people on their team, right? And I don't think these people would join them. I don't think customers would sign deals with them if they were actually worried about anything. Now, could they try to force the XRP out of retail's hands? They could, but honestly, in my opinion, I think that they've already done that. As I've shown, if you go over to the XRP rich list, you can see there's only 2 million XRP accounts, private wallets in existence, all right? And that chances are there's people that have multiple. I have multiple, personally speaking. I would not be surprised if that number's a lot less. So to me, it shows that the propaganda and the scare tactics have already worked with XRP, right? If you talk to most people in the community of crypto, they're all going to say XRP is a scam, it's garbage, the founders are dumping, why do you want to invest in something where they hold all the escrow? Well, chances are that they're holding that for a reason, in my opinion, because of potential use cases, right? Or having to hand it off, or government deals. A lot of different scenarios there that could be underway. But like I've said, you've seen them shake out the majority of the crypto community. You get made fun of if you're an XRP investor, and it's basically like so first and foremost, you're a contrarian investor because you're investing in crypto, and then if you invest in XRP, you're a contrarian investor in the crypto space in general. So everyone's against you. This SEC lawsuit caused people to get shaken out even more. Like I said, there's not that many wallets in existence. I think collectively there's not very many retail people in XRP. All right, moving on. This is yet another reason why I just don't see this stuff mattering for XRP. So, Sharia compliant crypto exchange wins license from Bahrain Central Bank. Middle Eastern digital assets exchange CoinMena announced Sunday it has received the green light from the Central Bank of Bahrain ahead of its coming launch. The certified Sharia compliant exchange said it has now been awarded a crypto asset services company license category 2 from the CBB. All right, the important part here, it will offer spot trading in 5 major cryptos: Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. So you got basically Bahrain Central Bank green lighting the trading of XRP, their country. Take what you want out of it, but stuff like this to me just shows everything else is a distraction. All right, a couple more topics to cover. So first and foremost, I had some people in the comments asking me, did I sell my XDC? No, I didn't. I still have it right here. So I wanted to quickly show you, 3 weeks ago I showed that I closed my Riot options contract, which has turned out to be a great decision so far. Riot has definitely been losing value with the sell pressure in Bitcoin, whereas most of the crypto space hasn't lost that much. So to me, this is a bargain and a steal. Those options I originally paid $680 for, and I converted it to all of this crypto. So I bought 4 Ethereum, 2,500 Stellar, 50,000 Hedera Hashgraph, over 5,000 Icon, 10 Bitcoin Cash, 27 Litecoin, 500,000 XDC, 2014 Nex, 4,008 Algorand, 10,000 Zilliqa, and my last one I want to talk about after this is I bought some Bitrue tokens, actually 18,000 of those as well. So I finally settled into a lot of crypto that I wanted to buy off those options, because I said I thought there was more opportunity out there. And I'm sure the majority of you guys would agree that, $680, a little less than a year ago, would be worth all of this crypto, right? So it seems like a bargain steal for me. And I'm actually really excited to see what comes out of this. So that's what I converted that to. That's not my entire portfolio. I just wanted to show you guys what those options end up place of. So, all right, I said I want to talk about the Bitrue token. So, Bitrue coin. All right, so I wanted to start looking for some sleepers in crypto. All right, so I've been going through CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, trying to find some little tiny market cap stuff I think has room for explosive growth. And this one might not be a sexy pick because it's not a new ICO or airdrop or DeFi crypto, but to me it just makes sense, right? It's logical. So I bought just enough of these, right, that if it blows up, I'll be happy, right? Personal opinion, as I'm going to show you, I would not be surprised at all for Bitrue to be able to do 100x, right? So 10,000% gain, I think it could easily get to over $3. Simply because of market cap, right? Circulating supply, market cap. So you basically add 2 zeros here, it would still only have a market cap of 200 million. Whereas if you come and compare it to the other exchange traded tokens, KuCoin per se, first example here, is at 90 million. KuCoin's hardly even used anymore. I mean, it is used. It's one of the exchanges people go to, it has a reputation at this point, but it's just not favored, right? Most people like Binance, right? But when 90 million, still 50 times larger than its Bitrue, basically. And then for Binance coin, right? So this one obviously 6.3 billion in valuation. Well, we know why, right? Binance is by far the most popular exchange people use. But remember, Binance started out at less than $1 when it first launched. All right, and hardly anyone was using the exchange. Most people ran over to Binance because all of the different Neo trading pairs and Neo ICOs. Binance kind of got its claim to fame through Neo, my personal opinion. All right, but 6.3 billion there, and then Huobi, a little over $1 billion. So all these exchanges are popular, but I feel like Bitrue is going to gain a lot of traction with all the XRP trading pairs they have, and with what they're doing with Flare. They also have a lot of lending, so you can go on their platform and lock up your crypto, and you have to buy Bitrue in order to do so. So like the token has utility in that you have to buy some to lock up your crypto and then earn interest. They have created tokenomics that require you to buy their token, right? And then if you come over to just the top exchanges over here on CoinGecko, you can see Bitrue is ranked at number 11 right here, and right up there with all these other ones. So people are going to see this when they're coming and looking for exchanges, right? It's pretty high up there, a lot higher than KuCoin, whereas KuCoin's token is worth almost 50 times what Bitrue's is. So, and it's right up there. I think that it has a bright future, at least for this year, and at 2 million, man, I think that this can only go up, personally. All right, so I'm going to continue to try to find some more sleepers out there for you guys, but like I said, this one might not be sexy, but to me it's logical. So that's why I added some. Hope that was informative. As always, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.
What is a cashless society? What does it actually mean in a literal or high-level sense?
Money will become like these, relics of a different age, and will only be found in places like this. In other words, hard cash will disappear. It will become electronic, transferred by things like these.
Then Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Mobile payment transactions in China reached a cumulative total of 277.4 trillion RMB in 2018, ranking #1 in the world, according to the recently released statistical report on internet development in China. As of June 2019, online payment users in the country reached 633 million. The cashless society is now approaching.
When's the last time you paid with cash? Well, chances are cash has taken a backseat to the plastic in your wallet and smartphone pay apps.
Denver 7's Ryan Luby explains the digital pay revolution and why not everyone is on board.
The cashless society, the cashless society.
The cashless society.
The cashless society is now approaching.
The cashless society.